G'day, how you going? Good to see you here. Today I'm going to take you through a couple of different techniques on painting clouds in watercolour. Let's get stuck in. So there are a couple of ways to do clouds. Well, there are lots of ways to do clouds, let's be honest. But what we really need to focus on is the way how can you best do clouds to express yourself and how you want to paint. Okay, so it's not just about copying and trying to get every little silver lining and every little color and every little fleck of goodness in your clouds. No, it's about expressing. Usually clouds can form quite an important part of a painting, of a landscape, because it's either, you can set the mood with the sky. And if there's clouds around, it can either be wispy, nothing, float on the bloody breeze of an angel kind of clouds, or they can be dark and menacing and strong. Today, I'm going to show you how to do the stereotypical kind of fluffy, pretty clouds, and I'm going to show you through my personal favourite way of doing them, which is a bit more rough and ready and a bit more
painterly, dare I say it. So
if you like this video, please slap that like button and the subscribe button and the thumbs up and all of that. Thank you, I really appreciate it. And tell a friend. Thank you very much. Let's get stuck in. Okay, here we go. The first method I'm going to show you is the way most people would think to paint clouds. And that is by painting around your cloud shapes and whacking the texture in there, get them all nice and fluffy. So I'm just going to start with a bit of sort of dirtyish water, I suppose, and I'm just going to put some water down here. It's dirty water, yeah, but it's fine. It'll be blue paint soon enough. So leave a couple of little marks there. Now blue, I've got this schminky color in my palette called Paris Blue. It's a very nice blue. It's a sky blue, and it sort of goes on a little bit phthalo-y, but it gets very nice after that. It sort of settles down a bit. So this is blue sky in. Why not? And we're kind of painting negatively, so we're painting around these shapes that will become our clouds, essentially. So, a bit of water, just smooth it out for the purpose of the exercise. Now, what we can do, or what I want to do, is just with a clean brush, I just want to soften up the edges. I don't want those real hard, unnatural looking edges. Just soften them a little bit, just here and there. That one's a big one, that's okay. And let's get a tissue and just lift a few out if you want to. You can always do that. That's another option. But I find with the tissuing, when you do the tissuing, it's all cool as an effect, but you're never going to get that white paper feel so much as you do when you, funnily enough, leave the white paper. So you can lift things out, but as you can see, there's a level of brightness difference between that and that. So, just do what you like, but you're always going to have a bit better luck with leaving the white paper. Now, if you wanted to make these clouds a bit darker, you could go in there just with a grey. Let's just do a grey. Leave some light parts at the top, so the sun's catching them. But if you want to just make it subtle, just like that, it's cool. And we'll wet that down a little bit more over here, and you know, you get some good results. Pretty clouds, and we can go in and soften those edges even more. Careful not to get rid of your white paper though. Really be careful of that. You know, that's one way to do clouds, and that's perfectly fine. As long as you keep your brush strokes nice and loose and flowy, you're all cool. You can even go in with a bit of darker stuff. Just let it float around. Why not? That's fine. Cool. So we'll let that go. That's one way to do it. You could have done that by painting the whole thing blue and then tissuing things out. But as I say, you won't get all those nice blue marks, nice white marks there. You'll just get, you know, a lighter shade of that blue if you do that. All different techniques, all schools of thought and all that sort of stuff. All right, let's move on to my favorite way of doing clouds. And this, if I want a cloudy sky, you know, not necessarily an angry sky or anything, but just if I want some nice wispy clouds, I just leave sort of random marks like this with water, clean water. Well, it's dirty-ish, but you can see where it is, that's good. And, you know, a couple of shapes. Got to remember, everywhere you're leaving dry won't take the paint as easy, so you'll get some nice edges there. That's fine. Now let's go into some blue. We'll do that Paris blue again. Why not? A bit watery here and there. Get a bit of warmth. Oops, it's just turned green, that's all. Bit of warmth in there, why not? And as long as you take care of any sort of unnatural looking edges, you'll be okay. I like this kind of sky because it just speaks to me a bit more as a painter, and it's just a bit more interesting as well. A bit more interesting to look at, and it's not as, you know, fluffy as such. You've got more of a variety of edges down here, which is always good, essential. Now these are just a couple of different ways we can approach it. Let me just dry it off and I'll show you what they look like once they're all pretty and dried. Well, there you have it. A couple of different approaches to painting some clouds in watercolor. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you like this video, as I say, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe buttons, and tell a friend. Thank you very much. Appreciate your work. Love yous. See you soon. Bye.